Your hair's what?
I need a haircut. Like that's
Dude,
really
I
what
gotta
it is.
get little Freddie his first haircut. His
Oh
hair is like
man,
growing over
yeah.
his ears.
Look at this. This is ridiculous looking. Hold
Yeah,
on.
it's getting long. I just got mine cut last week, but I gotta
Yeah.
take Freddie to the barbershop or one
Oh,
close friend of mine's a barber. I told him any shot you'll come by the house and cut my hair and Freddie's is like, yes, done deal.
done deal. Easy peasy.
So
I'd cut Freddy's hair. Actually, I don't know. I think I'd be afraid to cut Freddy's hair. Don't let me get scissors near Freddy like that.
maybe Bo
Uh,
Bartlett can cut his hair. I heard he's pretty good.
Bo Bartlett's fading me up before. He does a good job.
Yeah. All right. Welcome back. Baschamania, episode 173. The show's brought to you by our great friends at Attack. If you guys listen to this podcast, you know how much we love Attack. It's an AI strength and conditioning coach, a nutritionist, a mentality mentor, all in one app, all in your pocket, your age, your goals, your program. Guys, if you're not following Attack, if you're not using the Attack app, you're arguably not serious about getting in shape because this app is amazing. If you're following Ryan Deacon, Trent Hindley, Peyton Prusin, so many others, you'll see that they take this app very seriously. And if the highest of level of athletes are using it, you should. So download Attack, ATAC. It's in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Thank you to Attack for sponsoring this show. Cenzo, Coffee Talk, first time in a while.
I know. What's up, man?
I'm looking through. August 12th was our last Coffee Talk. So there's some miscellaneous news bits that we can talk about. We'll talk a little bit about the upcoming NCAA season. We'll talk about this is like a random end of summer coffee talk, even though summer's been over for a month.
Even though it's almost November.
But
Yeah.
like end of summer, fall kind of coffee talk, talking random tidbits. If you like this show, if you like coffee talk, you'll probably really like this episode. If you're here for like the latest and breaking news, you probably will not like it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the latest and greatest really would be anyway. But
Yeah, there's not a lot of great out there right now. So,
mm,
all right, let's
nah.
start real quick because we've talked about football in this podcast before, and
And that's just kind of what we talk about all the time naturally.
yeah,
So
shout out Luke. Luke's not here, but he's in our most active football group chat.
so I just like I don't understand why the Pittsburgh Steelers can't move the football. We don't need to like get into detail about that, but it just makes me sad. That's really it.
I went to sleep at halftime on Sunday night, and it was 16-10. And I put a parlay in. I needed some yards. So I woke up in like the middle of the night. And what happens is if I do a parlay in the middle of the night or on a late game, I go pee in the middle of the night and then I check FanDuel real quick.
Of course, you
So
have to. Yeah.
I'm checking and I don't want the spoiler if I won or not. So I go into the score app to check the stats and stuff. And I saw the score was stuck at 16-10. And I go, refresh. Oh,
Yeah,
it's
no,
not changing. That's how the
that's just
game
kind
ended.
that's just kind of how it went. Yeah, I don't know. They can't move the ball. It's been hard for me to watch, but that's that.
When is TJ Watt coming back?
I have no idea. Like not soon enough. I used to like last year with that great Big Ben last year offense. Excited when they would go on defense because that was their opportunity to score,
Yep.
and like it's going to be the same thing. But
And now it's like you have arguably the second best team in the NFL next week.
who do they have next week?
Eagles.
Oh, you said arguably the second best. I like how
Well, the
you did
Bills are the
that.
best.
I know you think that.
Arguably, the Bills are the best.
For sure. There's a few different ways you could approach that. I mean, you could say the Eagles are undefeated. The Eagles do play close games, so I think I'd have Bills at the top of my power rankings. Though.
Yeah, I think it would be Bills 1, Eagles 2, Chiefs 3. Those would be my top 3 power rankings.
That's fair. I think that's kind of how it goes.
I think a
But
Bills Philly Super Bowl would break both fan bases.
it'd be really fun, and it's here. So like,
Yeah, it's going to be a
it's in
good one.
Phoenix. It's in Phoenix, so anything down here is good. Weather's great right now too. Also, like it's like just hitting that sweet spot.
Yeah, I mean, so many people now. Like, I feel like the people I follow in Arizona, like that pool of people is getting bigger and bigger. So I'm seeing naturally like nicer weather more and more. And it's like I
Uh,
see Matt McCutcheon just randomly floating in his pool, and it's like
yeah,
40 here. Like,
yeah. Matt does like to just float in this pool too.
how often is Matt coming in the room?
You he was coming in pretty decently for a little bit, and then you know pretty much what happened was getting put with me and Zahid every day. So he hasn't been in a little while.
I saw the move yesterday that I think the Sunkiss kids put out. That little who put it out? Was it Sunkiss Kids
Oh
Arizona?
yeah,
Somebody the high crotch
yeah. They
to
just
the
get videos of
cradle.
me dick. They just get videos of me dicking around. I think it's great.
Who in that room would you say surprising you the most, or impressing you the most? Maybe not surprising you.
Um, Out of the college guys, there's a few of them for sure. Names that pop up right away are Mikhail McGee, Cal Parco. Those guys, they get after it. They train hard, and you can see like steady improvement on them. And then there's some other guys too, like in that room too, that not a lot of people would typically know about that are pretty good too. Um,
It's
like
pretty.
like an Anthony Montalvo transfer kid. He's solid. I think he's going to be tough. Jesse Vasquez kid too. So they got some, and obviously like Courtney and stuff. So they got a good team, man.
I want to kind of go not too in depth, but briefly go weight by weight through the NCAA's. But first, I want to talk a
Yeah.
few senior level stuff. I posted it yesterday or the day before, and I texted you about it. That USA men's freestyle finishing an average place of 1.75 across all ages, cadets, juniors, U23, seniors. And I don't know why that was so impressive to me, but like when I saw that the U23 team took third, which was up from seventh last year, I was like moderately impressed with the level of depth we now have from like top to bottom, old to young. And we were texting a little bit about it because and I put a quick article on Rokfin because it was longer than like what I want to say was longer than Instagram. And it's like every age level finished higher than they did last year. And of course, the negative Nancy's on Facebook. It's like, well, no Russia. Who cares? All wrestlers can do is show up to wrestle.
Right. I think that like has a factor in it, but I don't think that takes away that I think that we're getting better at wrestling as a country in
Correct.
general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you look at like the when you look at who's on the world team, it's not like it's all new guys and it's like, oh, they just happen to get a bronze. Like it's returning world and Olympic gold medalist getting more gold medals. So the argument of
Right.
like, well, no, Russia, no doubt it plays a factor, but to the people on social media that just look for any reason, like I posted something about Carter getting bronze, and it's like so much for all of his crap talk. Like, what do you mean? He just went out and got a world medal,
Yeah,
and
and like he like the match he lost, I think he over wrestled a lot of it too. Uh, he didn't need to lose that match, and he came back and wrestled great after that and kind of beat everyone up. Got bronze. I mean, like
that was his
that's a
first
bronze medal
international
on a world.
tournament.
Right, that's a medal on a world stage. Like I'm, like you take that, right?
Yeah, it's
I think
just
that's great.
the people on social that haven't
And
done a
Carter and
third of
Carter's
that.
Carter's probably not even like super pumped about that either. He's probably
Yeah, you could see
I'm
that in his
sure I'm
photos.
sure he wanted to win. Like I don't and like
Just
he's
because like
not a
you
guy that's satisfied with the bronze medal, but it's still a good accomplishment.
and you should believe in yourself. And this is kind of a good way in just talking about social media, which you brought up, and these kids being so active on social and stuff. Like whether you're active or not active, I think most wrestlers think the same thing as Carter. Like, I'm the best in the world. I'm going to go get gold. Whether some vocalize it or some don't, doesn't really matter. Most
Right.
wrestlers absolutely think the same thing. And I think you should have that mindset of, I'm going to go win a gold medal. And if you fall short and only win a bronze, that's just motivation to go out there and win a gold next time. Like, it's not like, oh man, I didn't do what I said I was going to do.
Right.
Believing in myself, let me just not wrestle anymore.
Yeah, no, it's hard. I'm sure it's hard to do in any circumstance there, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't like the slander either. Especially like that guy specifically, like, you know, like people are like, oh, like this kid needs to back up his talk, blah blah, whatever. It's like he's just doing his thing, man. He's a good dude. Just because he, you know, tweets something like about him being confident, right?
Yeah.
And he doesn't. It's not like he's like talking down on other people. He's just confident in himself.
Right.
So I don't understand like the whole like F this kid. He needs to back up his talk. I mean, he's been, you know, he's a junior in college. He's
Right.
dominating college wrestling. He's dominating college wrestling.
Right. Kid has
Yeah.
ice in
So
his veins.
yeah, it is what it is. Haters gonna hate, but like that's that.
Yeah. One of the things you brought up about how good we are at all age levels was
Mm,
social media, kids being
yeah,
more
yeah, yeah.
active, opportunities.
Well, yeah, we just have like there's more film. There's film on everything now. And I think there's just like, you know, we better coaching just all across the board because of that film. And I think that coaches, like especially like that run like at the youth level, are finding ways to make it like way more enjoyable and fun for the kids than like say whenever I was a kid wrestling and stuff like that. And we were just like
Right.
kind of grinding the whole time. Um, it definitely seems like even like whenever I was working at M2 with like David and those guys, like, you know, you make it, the kids have fun with it.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that's really helping our wrestling just like grow in general, because like they're like a lot of them, like, yeah, I'm sure their dads make them go to practice still, but a lot of these kids
Right.
now like want to go to practice, they want to go get that extra workout, and they want to learn from, you know, who, like David Taylor's their coach at M2. They
Right.
want to go learn. They want to go learn. Like that's just an example, but like I think it's kind of helping us just, you know, even with the especially on the women's side too. Like our women are kicking ass also. So I
Yeah.
think that just like seeing how other people are approaching the sport through media, and I think it's just a bonus. I think it's just a big help for us all the way around.
When you were, whether it was at M2 or coaching at Stanford, did you ever really deal with approaching these kids with the idea of burnout and preventing burnout in the longevity of their career? Like you've done a great job of kind of keeping the fire alive, or even when you're like, hey, I've got a really good coaching opportunity, I'm going to go do this. And then that fire was still there. Like, no, I can't fully commit to coaching yet. I want to still compete. Like, you've done a good job at the longevity and having success at different levels. What are your thoughts on these kids not burning out? Like, if they are so good, so young. I mean, if you're on Twitter, you probably can't miss like Bo Bassett, Sam Herring, these kids like
Right.
4:55 in the morning taking photos every day. Like they're pot committed. Does that worry you at all about any of these kids like burning out or having success long term?
Um, that's a tough question, man, because like I know a lot of kids that burn out, like that I would wrestle with growing up and stuff, but like the excitement level to train that you know a lot of kids that I was around had growing up isn't the same as what these kids have now. So I feel like that like they can do more just because like that's what they want to do. So that burnout isn't quite there as much. But like you still, and these coaches do a good job like keeping, I don't know, the kids involved and like while they're there, but also like giving them ample time off. And I'm sure it's not like that everywhere. And like, you know, there are kids that, you know, will unfortunately end up burning out and just like, you know, growing away from the sport because that's what happens. But I definitely think that we're doing a better job within like our youth wrestling of, you know, not like just trying to like crush these kids and making them kind of like enjoy wrestling and making them want to learn more about it.
Yeah, and I think you're seeing more involvement in youth wrestling. You're seeing like this Premier
Oh
League
yeah.
now. I had Izzy on talking about it a couple of weeks ago, and like how much they're doing to put an emphasis on strong development and putting a focus on the right things. Where it's like, I remember when I was a kid, like it was such a different world wrestling.
Oh yeah.
Like you would look at somebody just think it's like an 8-year old cutting weight or something. Like just a look of misery, like not fun. It's so different. And I think if our youth doesn't burn out, I think we're going to be very, very good for a very long time.
So do I. And I think we're just getting better too. Like you see like our age level guys kind of just performing super well. Um, And like even just like eyeball tests, like watching like younger kids, you're like,
Yep.
damn, like that these guys can wrestle. So I think it's pretty cool, and I think we're just purely trending in the right direction.
Yeah. And for you, like talking a
Yeah.
little bit about you competing, I was thinking about this a couple weeks ago because originally Jo was going to come on, and this kind of applies to both of you. Like your guys' toughest path or one of the biggest hurdles in your path to world medals is
Just to
the
make a
guys on
team.
our own soil.
Oh yeah, that's like one of the toughest things right now, and that's why you see a lot of guys wrestling for other countries, which I think is great. Like I'm all for that. Um, like if you're not going to make the team here and you want to go compete and go get it like an international medal, like power to you. You know, I'm cool with that.
So for you though, like what is your thought process when you see us having more and more success? Because it's like obviously you're happy for the country,
Mm-hmm.
but then it's also like, damn, like you're
I,
talking 74, 79, like damn, Dakin Burrows win again. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
I just got to step my game up. That's really it. I mean, you know, I mean, is that those guys are that's still the stand. They're still the standard.
yep.
So that's just what you know. That's what you need to attain. That's really it. Like Kyle Dake and JB, that's the standard, pretty much of excellence at like these middle weights, right?
Which
So
is crazy.
yeah, they're great wrestlers. They've been great for a really long time, and like I think I don't know how much longer like they're both going to do it, especially JB. But like I bet they could both keep wrestling and keep being successful for a bit.
JB's done after 2024. I don't know about Dake.
Yeah, but so it's like for me, it's just like it's actually kind of cool to watch because it's like I've been watching these guys wrestle since their you know beginning of their college careers, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like I was like you know why can't I do that? You know,
Yeah.
so like I feel like if you're on like the senior circuit, like that's like kind of the attitude that you should have. Like, and so I
Yeah.
don't.
No, I agree. What I'm excited for with you is a full year of competing.
Yeah, well, whenever we get to that point, we'll talk about it more. But we still got a little bit like until I could get back out and wrestle. So
But you have your eyes on you.
I just like I we got some time. Like I still have a few months. I mean, you know, ranking series like you know in the January February whenever that time comes. Like that's probably what we got next. So um I'm just training and preparing for that. Really working on my stuff.
You haven't competed overseas yet, right?
Never. I'm so excited to.
I was gonna say, are you excited
Yeah.
to like
Hell yeah, I'm pumped. Like it's just gonna be a completely different experience for me. And like, you know, I've never even been like overseas, like as
either
a
have I
person.
as a person?
As a person. Not even as a wrestler, but as a real life
I've
person.
been over as a person. Oh man, I think it'd be fun for you. You know, these are the things I think about, like just getting excited for like you in when USA goes overseas and a lot of guys go. I've
Yeah.
noticed that, like, let's say for example, college guys and teammates kind of meet up again and they go on this trip again. Like, let's say
Oh
you and
yeah.
Nick Lee get to go compete overseas.
That'd
Like,
be great.
you know what I mean? Like that's going to be so cool. And I think that's one of those
Mhm.
things that Nick Lee's overseas trips are very fun to follow on Instagram. If you're not following Nick, go follow him. Like you feel like you're coming along for the ride.
I, I love that dude. He's he's one of a kind. He's hilarious. But yeah, you gotta follow along. If you don't follow Nick Lee on social media, you have to. His stuff's
Yeah.
kind of fun.
And follow Nick Lee Cooks.
And Nick Lee cooks.
Few
I like
more.
that he posted that little like clip of him getting like a takedown in the NCAA finals like last year,
Yep.
and like I just commented like Nick Lee cooks because that's what he was doing. He was
Yeah.
cooking. Yeah,
Nick Lee Cooks. That might be the
Nick Lee
episode. That might be the episode title for this.
Nick Lee cooks. That should just be his thing from now on.
Yeah.
Not even
No.
just with food, just
Right.
like as a real person.
Right. As a real
Yeah.
person. A few more things to talk about before we talk college season.
Mm.
USA Iran World Cup could be very, very exciting. And I posted this out a couple weeks ago, and I want to clarify. I posted that we could see a Yanni World Finals rematch. That is purely what I want to see. Iran has said they're coming. Like the way it works is the top.
I know they're coming too.
The top 5 teams of the World Championships get invited to the World Cup, and then I believe a 6th team, which is like the all-world team. So there's another team that comes that I believe women's been announced, not men, but I don't know. I know Yanni was on here the last episode saying how bad he wants that rematch at the World Cup, wants to see where he is one match later. So I know that, and I don't think I know we are not going to send all of our number ones to this event.
No, we're not.
Yeah. Like, so I know Yanni wants to go, and I'm hoping his World Finals opponent from Iran goes, and that's why I used those 2 in the graphic. I know the USA is going. I know Iran is going. What those lineups look like, we don't know. I will 100% say it will not be all number ones from both countries, but it will be a very, very good duel, and with the other teams too. But like I had said, USA at all age levels averaged a 1.75 place finish. Iran's 2.25. So Iran and US are right there at all age levels. Cadets, juniors, U23, seniors. It is going to be a great event.
Iran has a ton of good younger guys right now. They're younger. They're like younger crew. The guy that wrestled Yanni, the guy that wrestled JB in the finals. Like they have a lot of like good younger wrestlers right now.
Yeah, they're
92 kilo that wrestled Jaden. He's really good also.
Yep. They have these guys that are like the next up and coming. Like Yanni's final opponent, they were basically calling him the next Yazdani. Like they're just like we have guys coming up. Iran does, and yeah, he's young. So that's going to be a fun event. I'm hoping we announce the lineup sooner rather than later. I believe USA Wrestling is trying to figure out who's out, who's in, and then for the guys who are out, trying to find replacements. Typically, what they do is they just go to the next guy on the roster.
You have to go down the ladder.
Yeah.
Of the weight class, because I couldn't wrestle 74 at the World Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I asked if I couldn't wrestle.
You asked before anything. You just said, "Hey, I want to wrestle here."
I just asked Mark. I was like, "Hey, if these guys if Kyle doesn't wrestle 74 like at the World Cup, like would I be able to?" And the answer was no. That I'd have to do it at 79 because I wrestled the trials and everything.
Yeah,
and I'm like 4th anyway, so like whatever.
Yeah, that I think it's going to be exciting no matter who wrestles. I hope you wrestle.
No, I'm absolutely not. No, I'm out of that. Yeah.
All right, sorry guys. Chendo's out of the World Cup. I
was never in. I just didn't get invited.
Well, I felt like I just kind of built that up a little bit, like there was a potential, and you just slammed the door shut on that. So we're now taking people on a roller coaster ride this morning.
I know Zahid's going.
Zahid's going? That'll be good. Yeah, I knew David wasn't going, but I'm glad Zahid is. Zahid's such a beast.
He's awesome. He's very good at wrestling. I'm excited to see if he gets a match with Yazdani too. That'd be cool to see.
Yeah, that'd be really good to see where he stacks up. It's
a lot of horsepower with that dude.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Another piece of news from last month that was never really talked about in the podcast was Soriano staying with Cliff Keen through 2024. And it's interesting for 2 reasons. One is that I had said 100 times I don't think he's ever going to wrestle again because Soriano is so built for the MMA crowd. I thought after NCAAs, it felt like he was ready to go right to MMA. Like, give him tens of thousands in an arena. He doesn't seem like the guy who wants to go to the Bill Farrell and, wrestle in NYC. He feeds off the crowd. Like, you saw that in Detroit. Like, what?
Let's say who doesn't.
Oh, no, for sure. So I am surprised because I had said a couple of times, like, I don't think we see Nick Lee wrestle or Nick Soriano wrestle anymore.
Easy to confuse those two for sure.
I'm also surprised that, not really surprised, but it's worth noting, you're going to see schools spend more and more money on NIL. Let's get it. Like, alumni is going to donate, and you're going to see money from local businesses everywhere else pour in to try to get a guy on the team to get their college team a championship. more than they care about what they're going to do in the senior level. So I am happy to see that Michigan and Cliff Keen, it wasn't just a 1-year Michigan, let's go get an NCAA championship. I'm glad they're keeping him around for a couple of years, because I'm okay with NIL money coming in to build bigger and better teams, but I don't want it to hurt the senior level athletes. And I'm good to see that Cliff Keen and Michigan are keeping Soriano around after that experiment of bringing him on for one more year, or bringing him for 1 year period.
Yeah, I like Nick Sirianni. I think that someone was trying to get him to come back here, I think, like afterwards, but I don't think that worked out, obviously. But
yeah, that did not work out.
Yeah, I was with him for 1 year.
Yeah,
he was a guy that, like, I liked having him in the room. Like, he's gonna hold himself and everyone else accountable, like, around him.
Yeah, and he's also just a very, very good wrestler.
Oh yeah, he's awesome. Like, I think he's very good. He can. I don't know, man. Him on the international scene, like, he's just so hard to score on. He holds position so well. I think he's built more so for freestyle wrestling.
Do you think he wrestles for US or Italy?
US.
I think Italy.
You think so? I don't know.
I think it's
I have zero information.
I have zero information either. I'm just saying gut says Michigan, their guys tend to wrestle more for other countries other than the US. I also just, if you're going to, you're around guys that have the philosophy of wrestling for other countries. So that's an influence of hearing that perspective, where you're basically all but guaranteed to make the team, and you can just focus on.
I'm just gonna ask Hannes, because Hannes is in Michigan also, and he wrestles for Italy.
If you could do that and report back.
Yeah.
It's also kind of crazy that Soriano has one of the biggest followings on social media for, I want to say a college wrestler, but he's done now in college. But he's got 114,000 followers on Instagram, and he has two posts in the last year. One was announcing Michigan.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
And one was just announcing the Michigan move. And one was just him and his mom. Like, nothing having to do with wrestlers. Like, yeah, mom, we did it. Which I love. But it's funny that there's nothing.
100%, man. Oh, man. I wish I could do that. Good for him.
Yeah, and it was kind of like back in May, just in LA. Just I think Nick on Instagram would be fun. Like, give us more Soriano on social.
He used to like be a little active, and that's probably why he has that following. But like, he hasn't been for a while. I don't blame him. I hate using Instagram.
Well, Nick also has a huge following. I'd say his following was the biggest contributor was being so good in Jersey, where they worship their good wrestlers. Like,
that is true. And the whole transfer thing. Like, he kind of changed the game. Like, he was the first person to transfer Big Ten to Big Ten that they let wrestle, or like interconference.
And don't forget, Big Ten to Big Ten to Big Ten.
Oh, Big Ten to Big Ten, Big Ten. I was just talking the Penn State to Rutgers move, which like I'm happy that ended up working out the way it did. Like I'm happy they changed the transfer rules. Maybe not
where you can compete now. Like right away. You mean?
Yeah, where you don't like lose a year.
Yeah,
I think that's stupid.
It's actually funny because if you look back, like, we're a little over 1 year removed from NIL, and nothing groundbreaking has happened. Like, you're not seeing like
nothing crazy has happened.
Like, you're seeing guys transfer, and you're seeing the conversation about was it NIL, but it's not like there's nothing that's been like, oh my gosh, NIL ruined this or greatly improved this. Like, it's just some college kids making a little bit more money.
Yeah, that's kind of what it turned into, and that's great. I mean, it definitely, I don't know, it affected me directly at one point in time, but I don't even know if that could have happened either way.
Yeah.
So, whatever. Like,
yeah, whatever.
Hey, pay the kids.
Yeah. Let them kids get paid. I forgot how Jay-Z said it.
I don't know how JT said it either, but pay the boys.
All right. So speaking of Michigan,
Cool.
Soriano, NIL, let's
Yeah.
go through the weights real quick for the college season. I'm really excited for the season because I feel like shout out Josiah at Fanco because it's hard not to be a fan of that kid. But he loves college wrestling so much. And I focus so much on freestyle because that's where my friends compete. It's where my clients compete. So I'm naturally like freestyle. I also think there's a weak spot in coverage. So and I'm
Yeah.
so happy to see like PRTC put out a thing today that Berger and McKenna are going to compete. They leave today to compete next week.
Where
I'm
are they
glad.
going?
Oh shoot! I just spilled. Shoot, Becca, can you bring me a towel? I just spilled coffee all over my keyboard.
Yo, Freddie,
Oh,
bring him a towel.
Freddie's asleep.
No,
Let me see. I'll look it on my phone.
I had no idea about that.
Nobody does. And that's what I'm talking about. There's a void in coverage. They're competing in the Kunayev DA Senior Freestyle Tournament next week. They're going to Kazakhstan.
Jeez, good for them.
So I love to see clubs saying where their guys are going, but there's such a void in coverage. That's one reason why I try to put out content around the senior level. But Josiah in Fanco, and I think he's had a couple guys helping him now. He's such a lover of college wrestling. He puts out so much good content. And I feel like I'm starting to get more and more excited for the college season now that you're on the corner. You know, practice is officially underway. And I'm glad that you don't have official ties this year.
Yeah,
Like
it's nice, right?
you have three biases. You went to Penn State. You
Mhm.
obviously built some relationships at Stanford, and now you're
Absolutely.
in the room with Arizona State. So you have a nice mix of bias, but not that like
Oh, no,
direct tie.
I'm still absolutely biased and directly tied to
How
certain individuals.
how would you rank your bias right now? Before we go through weight, I feel like we have to just make that clear.
That's so tough. My bias comes from more personal connections than where I've been, if that makes sense.
Same.
Like I'm gonna
And
pick
not
Shane
just because I
Griffith.
didn't go to college.
I'm gonna pick Shane Griffith to win 165 pounds. Like that's
Dude.
that's a done deal.
165 is actually the weight I think I'm most excited for.
Gotta be.
The top three guys are
sick.
NCAA champions.
It's sickening. They're all so good. There's multiple guys that can win.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves though.
I know.
But to answer yes, I agree with you. I'm the same way. Like I'm a Penn State fan. I've talked about 1,000 times why. I'm not going to tell it again. But I'm like a relationship guy first, and especially like as I sponsor athletes, as I grow. I also like people are so silly. On Baschamania Instagram, I'm always trying to at least support and boost and promote the guest of the show.
Right.
So I put out a graphic about Carter winning bronze just because I had time that day. Like I run a very busy company, and October has been our best month in 15 years.
I was going to text you the other day and just see how you were and say, you seem like you've been really busy lately.
Yeah, crazy.
That's really it. Yeah.
October is our best month in 14 years.
Hey,
so when I produce some of this content, it's because I actually have time. So I put out a Carter graphic, and then I was so disgusted at one of the games on Sunday that I decided to make a couple of graphics. Actually, it was Sunday night. It was during the Steelers Dolphins.
What are you doing to me, man? You keep talking crap.
So I put out a couple of graphics, and something just like, why not Tanner Sloan? Like, why didn't you make a graphic for him or whatever the guy said? It's like, dude, like I do this when I can, but my allegiance and who I will help will always be my friends, guests of the show. So I agree with you. Like having those close relationships is always who you go for over a school tie in our situations. So, all right, we'll start with 125. It seems like it's Spencer versus everybody here.
Yeah, that's kind
of especially if he's healthy. And I'm curious. Two things. One, if he's going to be on a pitch count, how much he's actually going to wrestle. I hope
he should be.
I hope wrestling is better when our stars wrestle. Senior level, college, whatever it is. The more people get to see those, the better.
I
But
agree, but that dude is like been through the ringer.
yeah, and if
Like,
you talk about like whether it's Spencer and how many injuries he's been through, or you talk about
all that
Roman,
all that matters is that he bumps up to 133 whenever they wrestle Penn State. That's all that matters.
he will never do it. But there's
No.
nothing I want in college wrestling more.
Yeah, everyone wants to see that. And like, here's the thing: if you go up to 33 and you lose, no one cares. We just
Correct.
want to see the match. We just want to see the match.
Absolutely nobody cares. Like, who was it? Was it
No
Seth
one cares.
Gross and Bryce Meredith? Who wrestled a couple
Yeah,
years?
yeah,
Was them two, right?
yeah. No, Seth and Bryce.
Nobody
Yeah,
thinks about that match right now. Like, it was something
no,
cool in the moment, and they both earned a lot of respect for doing it. Like,
absolutely.
would love to see that. By the end of the year, like I'm super happy that the All-Star Classic is back this year. By the end
Yeah,
of the year, nobody will be thinking about who wins or loses that. It's what happens in
no,
NCAAs.
yeah. The All Star Classic. It's a cool match. Like, good to set the tone a little bit, but like, it doesn't matter.
No, correct. So yeah, if I think Spencer's going to be on a pitch count. It'll be interesting to see if somebody. I don't know how much homework you've done on this weight. Do you have a dark horse at this weight?
No, I really don't. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna pull up the rankings. Actually, I actually just had them up, and then you know how my internet's been really good. No, let me see
If
here.
you look
I mean,
strictly,
Nico Provo, Stanford. I mean,
shout out Nico stud.
yeah, that'd be really about it. But like, he's a dark horse if you don't know who he is. That's really about it. Uh,
If you look solely at
he'll be coming out.
rankings,
He'll be coming out as a true freshman.
like Robbie Howard as a 15, like Robbie
He's
Howard.
13 on flow. I like Robbie getting on the podium too. Robbie's a good wrestler.
Yeah, I don't look at flow rankings anymore, just Intermat.
Yeah, I should probably be on Intermat, huh?
Yeah, just personal preference.
You know, it's kind of easier to navigate Intermat rankings anyway. All right, yeah. No,
There's a lot
on
of
these
guys in
rankings,
this weight class that like are very exciting to think about potential matchups, but it does seem like it's Spencer versus everybody, and it's not even close.
that's how it usually goes, though. I
Yeah,
mean, Glory can give anybody a match. You can't count him out, but it's Spencer Lee.
no, like Brandon Courtney, Pat Glory, you can't count these guys out. But
No,
if you're an odds maker, this is maybe one of the biggest favorites at a weight.
yeah, for sure.
Very risky bet, by the way, if you could bet it, because he has to stay healthy, and that kid is banged up.
He is. Like I said, he's been through it.
Which, by the way, I guess we can talk about it now or later, but my pick for the Hodge is Yanni.
Me too. I was gonna say me too. Yeah.
And one of the reasons why
I had some rankings and everything for that too.
Hodge rankings.
Like preseason in my brain.
Okay, let's save it then for after we go through the weights.
Yeah. Just a few guys.
33, I am super, super excited for. I think
Vito comes up.
I think Roman's gonna win it again.
I think McGee's gonna take out Fix.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a bias or a non-bias prediction?
Bias prediction.
Bias prediction.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Roman has shown that as great as Dayton is, he's beatable. And
oh yeah,
Roman's beat him.
I think there's some really, really good wrestlers up at the top here.
Yeah. Ragusin is due to break out. I mean, that kid is just an absolute stud.
And Mickey's coming back. Mickey can beat pretty much anyone too.
Oh, hometown bias. We didn't talk about the hometown bias.
Mickey beat Dayton, what, 2 years ago? Beat Fix 2 years ago?
Yeah, I think it was 2 years ago. No, maybe 3. 2 years ago was COVID.
Oh man.
Forgot that COVID year, huh? You blacked it out of your brain.
10 years ago it happened. But yeah. No, that's hometown. Yeah, that's hometown bias and just like
January 2019. That's how long ago that was.
Oh geez.
Yeah.
Almost 4 years ago.
Yeah, wow. 3-1 match at the Oklahoma State Pittsburgh duel.
See how what a stupid memory I have. I remember random stuff.
I think Roman I think Roman's going to do it again.
Yeah.
I mean, look at
there's no reason there's no reason to believe otherwise at this point.
Yeah. And by the way, these like you obviously Dayton is right there. Amazing wrestler.
Oh
But
yeah.
you have to pick
He's a world silver medalist, man. He's awesome.
which is crazy. It's crazy that the
Yeah.
world silver medalist isn't like the number one in the weight. Like he's second in the world and he's second in NCAA. It's crazy.
Different game.
Yeah.
But Roman, he's on his shit. Like, you know, he wouldn't be coming back. He wouldn't be coming back this year if he wasn't coming back to win another one.
Yep.
So that's kind of how that goes.
I agree. I'm excited. I don't think we're going to see him on a full schedule either. He's coming back because he wants one more NCAA championship. He wants one more.
Yeah. No, he won't be on a full schedule either. And that's fine.
He wants March excitement.
You want to watch him. And that's another reason why I didn't really put him on I didn't put him in my top Hodge guys because I didn't think he'd be wrestling a ton.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think him and Spencer both need to wrestle a full year, and I don't think either one will. Right. 41 is honestly a pretty open weight.
Oh, it's wide open.
Like you got Cole Matthews 1, Real Woods 2. I mean, Lear is down at 5, Carter Young 13.
Oh, Bartlett 16.
Bartlett 16. Alvarez.
Jesse Vasquez 18. ASU bias.
Yeah, I mean, What is your pick for this weight? What do you think of it?
Oh my gosh, I have no idea. I mean,
I don't either. I don't think I can make a prediction in this weight until at least half the season is through. But I am excited. No. I like we mentioned 165 and how exciting it is, and we'll talk about it in a couple minutes, obviously. But I also love these weight classes that are wide open, where it's anybody's game. How bad do you want it?
And obviously, I would say I'm pretty tight wise both with Cole Matthews and Real Woods. Those are both my boys.
Yeah, hometown bias, most recent coaching bias.
Yeah, so I'm excited to watch them scrap it out again. I mean, last year Cole won with a big move, and then it's not like he just won with a big move, right? You have to finish the match. So big move shuts him down. That's a win. They're gonna are they wrestling at the All-Star Classic? Yeah, they are.
Ooh,
they are.
I guess we should factor in some of those matches. So at 125, Pat McGee versus Brandon Courtney. At 133, Lucas Bird versus Michael McGee. Yeah. And then at 41, Cole Matthews versus Real Woods. So right out of the gate, we're getting 1 versus 2.
I got Real in the All-Star Classic.
I do too.
I think he's gonna want it really bad. But I'm not saying that's how the rest of the year is gonna pan out.
No, I agree. I think Real's had a lot of time. I mean, that was his last match in NCAAs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the match he's.
Was it? Yeah.
I think that was his last one. So yeah, that's got to be fresh in his mind. I would go Real there, but I agree with you. I think at the end of the year it could be something totally different. But super excited. Or it could be the same thing. If Real Woods wins an NCAA championship, I am not surprised.
Not even not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Yeah, no, he's a stud, man. Yeah. All right, let's move it along here.
All right, 49 is maybe.
I think Yanni's going to win the Hodge. I think he's the best pure wrestler in college wrestling.
Would you say Yanni is more of a favorite than Spencer to win the weight?
I don't know.
I think Yanni is arguably the best wrestler in college, which is why I think he's going to win the Hodge. But he does to have Sammy Sasso, the level of talent, I think at 49 is greater than 25, I would say.
Yeah, I agree.
You have Yaya Thomas, who just wrestled in U23s.
Yaya's good, man.
Very good.
Yaya's good. Parker's good. I think Abbas is going to have a bounce back year. Also bias. But
for the Penn State fans listening,
can wrestle. Shane Van Ness.
Yeah, Shane Van Ness. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I think Shane's going to be good. I think he's going to be ready to wrestle. I'm excited to watch him. Man,
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited. I'm getting excited to watch college wrestling now.
Same, dude. That's why we're doing the show today.
Wow, look what we did. Look what I did to myself.
See, you came in
That
with the football mindset, but
I always come in with a football mindset. And All Star Classic is Sasso and Gomez.
I'm excited to see what Gomez does this year. I think he's
I got
fired up.
I got Sasso in that match. I think.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
I don't know who I'm picking in that match. It's going to be that match where it's like whoever wins, I'm like, yeah, I'm not surprised. Like Sasso's a very, very good wrestler. Gomez is also a very good wrestler. He's very hungry.
Gomez beat him last year, right?
I believe so. Let me check.
Yeah,
Shout out WrestleStat, one of the best
I
websites
know.
on the internet.
They're both pretty damn good though.
Gomez beat Sasso 6-5 before he wrestled Bryce Andonian for the second time in another thriller at NCAAs.
I got Sasso. I think it's a scrap either way, but
Wow, Gomez beat him twice in a row. Gomez beat Sasso 8-5 at Big Tens. I forgot about that. Then beat him 6-5.
I remembered the Big Ten
History
one.
often repeats it. History often repeats itself. Give me Austin Gomez at the All-Star Classic.
I like it. I like it. We need to differ here.
Yep. All right, moving on.
I'm going with the PA guy though, Sammy Sasso.
Okay, no bias. 49 though. It's Yanni. I think Yanni by a landslide. This is a guy who is just off. Again, a world silver medalist, but the reigning world silver medalist, and he's hungry. And I just had Yanni on the show, and he talked a lot about this upcoming season.
He's just really good. Like that's really it. He's really good, and he's just going to keep getting better. Like I don't.
Yeah,
I think he tears up everybody this year. He did last year too.
Yeah. And it's Yanni Gomez right out of the gate, like their first dual meet.
Hold on 1 second. Where's Ridge Lovett?
He's 4. But he's in Nebraska.
Why is he 4?
This was talked about. If you go back through my tweets, people were talking about this. I believe it is. I can't remember now the whole chain of who beat who.
Yeah, but he made the finals, whatever.
Ridge lost to Yanni at NCAAs.
So did everybody else.
Lost to Gomez twice throughout the year.
That explains it.
Lost to him at Big Tens. Lost to him in the Nebraska-Wisconsin duel.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Okay. So his only 2 losses last year, basically, or only 2 people he lost to. No, he lost to Max Mern. Medical forfeit to Max Mern. Yanni twice, Gomez twice.
Yep. That first match with Yanni was wild too. All right. I just wanted to see where my boy was. He told me he was going down to 41, and I was like, bro, like, why?
So did he change his mind and stay at 49, or is there still a spot he goes down?
I have no idea now.
Listen, I would love for him to go to 41. Throw yourself in that mix of that wide open field day.
If he can make that and feel good, I'd go 41.
Yeah, if you can make it and feel good, that's the key. And feel good. There's 2 big ifs. If you can make it, if you can compete
at a high level there, like that's the move.
All right, 157 is like
skip.
Just a hard pass.
I'm not watching this weight.
It's pretty wide open this year.
If AOC is healthy, I could see him winning another one. I'm excited to see Andonian up a weight. I don't know if he'll be as good at 57 as he was at 49. And I don't know. These guys are solid. Like Brayton Lee's good. Will Luon's good. Peyton Robb is good. Corey is freaking good.
All-Star Classic is Teamer versus Luon. What's your pick for that?
Pass.
I didn't know we were implementing passes.
I do the passes.
All right, I'm going
Wait,
Teamer for
no.
that
It's
one.
Andoni and Luan. Teamer's not wrestling.
Originally, it was Teamer. Did that change?
Yeah, I don't think he's wrestling right now.
Okay. All right. So if that's the case, if it's Andonian and Luan, give me Andonian.
I got Andoni too, and it's gonna be. I think. Actually, no. Give me Luan. I think Luan's gonna be solid and beat him. I changed my mind.
You
We're gonna
can't.
differ.
It's very hard because anytime I pick against an Izzy kid, I'm like, but he's an Izzy kid because they're so good and capable of winning any match they're ever in.
Yeah, I got Luan. I think that's an absolute toss up. Like I could be dead wrong too, but I
Yeah,
think he's gonna just be solid. I'm actually excited to watch it. I'm excited to watch All Star Classic now, man.
it's going to be very exciting.
Yeah, I will.
November 22nd, for those wondering, because I know there's going to be tweets.
But for this weight class, like in general, I have absolutely no idea. I'm I'm going with AOC comeback season. Like I think that's what's happening. We'll see how healthy he is, but that's kind of like a wild card pick for me.
Yeah, I think Ed Scott has the potential to go off and have
Ed Scott's a beast, man.
He has the potential to go off and just. I remember when he really made an impression on me. I believe it was Ed Scott, David Carr, last year CKLV. Ed Scott took David Carr into overtime, I believe. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. No, maybe I'm thinking that was Peyton Robb. I think that was
Peyton. It was Peyton Robb.
Yeah, it's Peyton Robb. Peyton Robb really
Peyton
impressed
Robb.
me that one. Where did
Peyton Robb's a beast too. I wrestled with him over the summer a little bit.
He's a stud. He's another guy who could go on an absolute tear. He really.
Yeah, he can, man. Like I think this is actually a way where quite a few guys can end up winning it if it stays like this. But we'll see how the season shakes up. See if someone like comes out in front.
Yeah. It's funny that Peyton Robb made such an impression on me during that match. I thought it was Ed Scott. Mixing up in my mind because they're both so talented. And I can't remember the match that Ed Scott really, really impressed me, but there was a match that I'm like, dang, this kid is like right there. So 57, absolutely wide open. 165 is my favorite weight that I cannot wait for. The 1, 2, and 3
it has a special place in my heart.
Yeah, and the top 3 are all NCAA champions. You have O'Toole, Shane, Carr.
Oh, we messed up. Quincy's staying at 57. I'm going with Quincy.
Quincy's staying at 57?
Yeah, Quincy's staying at 57. I got Quincy. Even though he's on the rankings at 65, he's staying down. I got Quincy Monday. Yeah.
Quincy is wrestling. I don't know if he still is, but the original matchup was
65 at the All-Star class. It's
Carr, Quincy, and Hamidi O'Toole. Both. We get 2 65 matches because his weight is so crazy. Yeah. Which I'm taking Carr and O'Toole in those 2 matches.
Same. So that's what I have too. I think Carr and Quincy might be like the match of the event though.
Yeah, I could see that.
But yeah, I got O'Toole over Hamidi. I'm excited to see improvements Hamidi will make from last year this year, like adjustments or things he'll change up because he was good last year as a true freshman. So you can only going to go up from there, in my opinion.
Yeah, if Hamidi continues the path that he was on last year, he is setting himself up for an absolute amazing year this year.
Just a good career. Yeah,
I'm going with Carr for the season. I mean, Carr is
I got Shane.
I'm going Carr. That is also like Carr is one of my guys that is not only like
I love David Carr too. Their whole family, they're awesome. They're good people. David
Carr is like, it's not only a bias pick. I feel like if I had no bias, I'd maybe still pick Carr. I do not like that we're both not sleeping on him, but the fact that neither of us are going with number 1 O'Toole is kind of foolish.
Returning champ. The returning champ. Absolutely. Yeah. He's but
if O'Toole was like minus 150 to win and David Carr was like plus 160, like
Yeah.
That's the line I'm taking. I'm taking whatever the David Carr line is.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm going with Shane just because I'm biased and I want to see him get it back.
Yeah. I'm going with my bias. I want to see Carr get back on the top of the podium. Um,
Either way, like they're gonna
Facundo, Penn State. I'm excited to see
right.
what he does. He's a little
Oh,
beast.
what a weight, man.
Mm-hmm.
This weight is
This is
crazy.
the weight this year. You also have
Yeah,
guys like Karchula in there who are just
he's really
unbelievable
good.
wrestlers,
He's
and it's
good
like
too.
if all of a sudden Karchula goes undefeated this year and makes the finals of the NCAA tournament, not too many people are going to be
Uh,
surprised.
I think I'd be a little surprised
Really?
because this is a tough weight. Yeah, yeah. Especially
Okay, but hear me
and
out. Wait, hear me out. Hear me
not a
out.
ton of. I'm
Who's in the
listening.
Big Ten?
I was just saying that not a ton of hammers in the Big Ten, huh?
So the Big Ten finals could be.
Cam Amin, Hamidi, Karchla,
How about a
Patrick
Hamidi
Kennedy
Karchula
is
Big Ten
seven.
final?
That wouldn't be surprising at all. That's like,
Karchula is set up to have a very good year. Give
yeah,
me the over on his win total.
I want that too.
Man, FanDuel needs to step up and have wrestling lines over Karchula win total this year.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I'm on it. We need to see where they're competing at too. We need to see what tournaments. Facundo's listed at 23. Excited to see how he can do. All right, moving on.
All right, let's go up to 74. 74. We started the show talking about him. It is Carter Starocki at 1.
Uh,
Makai Lewis, Mikey
I have
Labriola.
look. It's good. I think it's going to be the same finals. Like I don't really see anything else happening here. I mean, you never know, right? That's why they wrestle the matches. But I think it's going to be Carter Mackay.
Yep, I agree. And I think Carter has ice in his veins. And I think Makai taking the Olympic red shirt, he's never been the same since. Very, very, very good wrestler. I don't think he's been the same in college since.
Yeah, I mean, I
I
think
got
he's
Carter.
good. I
He's
think he's
very
good.
good.
I
He's
think he's
very,
good.
very good.
I mean, like, I don't know what you mean by hasn't been the same. Like, he made the finals last year again. Um, he's beaten some good guys. I think.
All right, I
Yeah,
take it back. I retract. He's just as good
I
as he
think.
was before he took the red shirt. You're right. I've made that statement before he went to the finals last year. He did go to the finals. I'm going to retract my statement.
It was a really competitive finals match. It was riding time
It
and
was.
overtime.
Yeah, you're right.
I have Carter over Mackay finals.
6-5.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
Yep.
Mikey Labriola can beat either one of them on a good day. What's I get though? I'm
Yeah.
not.
What about Ed Ruth?
I have no idea.
Edmund Ruth.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
All right.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen him wrestle.
I think Carter Mackay could be a final. I think we could get another rematch. That'd be
Are there any
great.
freshmen?
Hold on. What's the All-Star Classic match there?
Carter and
Is it Carter Mackay? I think it's Carter and Mackay. We're getting that match
yeah.
next month. We could get
All right,
yeah.
cool. All right, cool.
All right, give me Carter.
Yeah. Same.
84 Aaron Brooks.
Aaron Brooks and I have Aaron Brooks at number 2 on my Hodge list also. He's a freaking beast, man.
Yeah, I agree. The only thing I think hurts him. What was his bonus percentage last year? It was 63%. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Let's dial it up. I mean, look, like it's hard to bonus 63%. Like I think that's pretty dang good.
Yeah, I thought it was less. The year before it was 50%. I'm thinking of that.
Look, Jason Nolf and Bo Nickel like aren't in college wrestling anymore.
This is facts.
Yeah. So like I don't know, like there's unless you're like Spencer or something like that. That bonus rate, it's
Yeah.
hard to get that up. You
Yeah.
know.
No, I agree. If you had to predict Yanni's bonus rate, because you think Yanni's going to be 1-2. So obviously you
Yeah.
think it's higher than let's say 63% is
Uh.
the bar. I think Yanni's like 70, 72.
Yeah. I was gonna say 70. Like I don't really. I'm not good with that type of stuff, percentages and
Yeah,
shit.
I'm not either. I just if Aaron's at 63%, I think Yanni, we both think Yanni's one. So if the bar is 63 for two, I think 70 is where Yanni is one. Either
That sounds
way,
about right.
it's completely
Yeah.
irrelevant, means absolutely nothing. I think Aaron Brooks
Yeah.
wins 84.
Yeah.
I think Brooks and Parker, the one versus the two, again, we're going to get next month at the All-Star Classic, which I'm very
Yeah.
excited. Parker,
I think Parker Kekaisen is one of the most like slept on wrestlers in college wrestling too.
he is, without a
Yeah.
doubt, he is. He's very, very good.
Yeah, super good. He's good from everywhere. Like, he's like he's dangerous from every position, pretty much. Like that's you can't like fall asleep when you're wrestling him.
Yeah.
You got to wrestle through everything. Yeah. No, I think he's pretty slept on. Trent too. Trent Hadley's awesome. Um,
Yeah.
there's some
U23. What did you just get? A
right.
bronze medal?
You
Bronze or
get
a silver?
silver, bronze or silver, something like that.
No,
You got a
silver.
medal.
Yeah. Silver
You got
U23
a medal.
medal. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, those are three studs there. But I got AB again. He absolutely dominated NCAA finals last year. Uh, yeah, he's when it's winning time, he's gonna win.
Yep. No, I agree. So I like Brooks for the year. I like Brooks at the All-Star
Mm.
Classic next month. Going up to 97. What are your
Pass,
thoughts? You say pass?
pass. I don't know. I mean, like it's the exact same weight as last year.
Yeah.
All right, are you ready for my pick here though? And I just decided what it is right now, and it's not going to be good.
Let me think what you might say.
Who do you think I'm going to pick? Just
Nino.
take a no,
I thought you
which
were going to go with
that
the
would be
hometown bias.
I.
And it was
It's a
somebody
super.
you said I wouldn't think. That's why I went Nino.
It's a super biased pick for sure.
Are you going
Preseason
Matt?
number preseason number 8 from Lehigh, Michael Beard.
I'm excited to see how Beard does.
I want to see Beard wrestle this year. I want to see him win.
Dude, a Beard Dean. I mean, Penn State and Lehigh wrestle in a duel. So we're going to see that match. What's the date? I think. Let me confirm that because I
That would
want
be
to see.
sick. Both awesome dudes too, though.
Yeah. Max Dean was on this podcast a couple months ago. It was very, very very
Maxine's the
friendly.
man.
Yeah.
Maxine's the man.
He's hard not to like that kid. He's
Yeah.
such a good kid. Lehigh, December 4th at Lehigh. So that's pretty exciting. Man, Black Knight Open. So spoiler alert, I have Scott Green coming on the podcast Thursday.
Yeah.
9 a.m. if Eastern, if you're around.
He coached me at Fargo.
That weekend. So I think it's West Point, Iowa, maybe on Friday. Bill Farrell, NYAC Saturday. And then Black Knight Open on Sunday. It's a fun weekend if you're in the New York City area. I am going to try to make it there for a couple of those events. But super excited for that. Yeah, that was. It's funny because I was actually trying to convince Nick Lee to go because he didn't think he was going to go, and I said you should go because Cenzo's going.
Yeah.
And then you're like, not going, Bill Farrell. And I don't want to tell Nick that you're not. So I hope Nick's not listening. That I want Nick to still go.
I'll tell Nick I'm going. Yeah.
Thank you.
I want to see Nick wrestle.
Yeah.
All right, but All-Star Classic, Warner Buchanan. And I want to say this so everyone can hear me. I'm picking Jacob Warner.
What's the reason?
Because
you sound like there's some force behind that.
History, and I don't know. I'm feeling Warner. I think that like you keep talking about guys being hungry coming into the year. I think he's gonna be. Like I don't think he's I think him making that finals last year, maybe he's gonna like kind of push him a little bit to kind of like maybe I don't want to say break through because he just made the finals last year, right?
Yeah.
But like maybe kind of like elevate his game even a little more. And I don't want Iowa people yelling at me.
Fair.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Buchanan.
All right, cool.
Iowa people are already gonna yell at me. So this
Yeah,
weight,
no, that's true. They're gonna yell at both of us
yeah.
no matter
If
what.
we both pick Warner, they will still yell at us because of some reason.
They'll think we'll be like we're being sarcastic or something.
Yeah, this weight is also interesting because internationally, this weight presents a unique situation. You have Tanner Sloan, who just got a U23 medal. You have Jacob Cardenas, who just got a U23 medal. You have Braxton Amos, who's been competing overseas. I can't remember if he's got a medal or not. But you have all these guys who are like not your average college wrestler. Like they're competing internationally. They're getting more and more experience. They're coming into the season hungry. I do think that's going to factor in. I mean, Cardenas just won a silver medal, just like Trent at the U23s.
Good for them, man.
So this way, you know, you have so many wild cards out here who could put on a show. And I'm very, very excited to see how it shakes out.
Max.
All right, so that's 97. I think Max gets it done again. I think he's an NCAA champion, and he's going to have another year in the Penn State room with David Taylor, Cal Sanders, Jake Varner.
That's the smartest pick, like for sure.
Yeah, that's a sharp pick, I'd say.
Yeah,
that's a sharp.
That's an easy, like smartest pick, easiest pick. So with that being said, I'm going to go with Michael Beard.
Okay. Michael Beard, very good wrestler. And again,
let's go, Mike. Let's go, Mike.
we're getting that match early December of Dean Beard, and I can't wait for that match. Going up to heavyweight here, you have a problem.
I have an absolute issue here.
Let me set the stage for this one. You have number 1 ranked Colton Schultz in your room where you're training.
Yeah.
You have number 2, Greg Kirkfleet, a roommate of yours.
I also lived with Mike for a year too.
So this is. What are your thoughts on this weight?
I got Greg in the All-Star Classic against Cassiope.
Cassiope, 2-time. Cassiope.
He's like 0-5. He's like 0-5 against Cassiope, and I'm gonna pick Greg every time.
Yeah, I'm picking Greg. Shout out Cassiope though, 2-time U23 world medalist.
Hell yeah, that's sure.
Cassiope is the real deal. As a Penn State fan, Greg is one of my guys. I hope Greg beats Cassiope at the All-Star Classic to get that chip off your shoulder. He is like 0-5 against him.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because he'll go out there and beat
winning
Mason Paris or this or that. And then Cassiope has his number. So I hope right out of the gate he gets that win versus Tony. Yeah, that'll be good. I'm assuming you can't make a pick for that. That seems like the biggest conflict of interest you have for the NCAA season.
It's literally like it has 0% to do with me, so I could talk about it. Like I think they're both very good, and I think either of them can win. I think
he says I can talk about it. They're both very good, and either one can win.
But like also, I can see like any of the top 4 guys winning. Like to be honest with you, like I could see Cassiope having a good tournament and winning that thing. Like beating. I think he'll have a easier time beating Greg than Colton, just because Colton's so big and holds position so well, and he's just really good at what he does.
Yeah.
But like I wouldn't be like shocked, but I think like Colton and Greg are both very good, both like world caliber guys, I think. Yeah, no, you're right. I'm staying away from it.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Big Greg. I think he has a breakout year. I think it's him and Schultz in the NCAA finals, which I think is crazy. I am not sleeping on Mason Paris. Dude is a beast. I'm not sleeping on Big Tony. I think they're both amazing wrestlers. But when you have 4, only 2 can make the finals. And I'm going Greg and
that is how that works. Yeah, I got
Schultz.
Greg Schultz finals too, and then I'm gonna cut it
Yep.
there.
Yep.
But heavyweight's good, man. Like even without Gable, this is a good weight class.
Yeah.
I think like I said, there's 4 guys here who could like are national championship caliber heavyweights. And number 5, that Harvard kid, he's good too, man. So he was hurt all last year,
Can
but
you
it's
pronounce his name?
nope. I'm
Because
not
I
gonna try.
can't.
I'm not gonna try.
Yeah.
It's like when people just call me Joseph.
Oh man, I almost commented on that video yesterday of you with the high crotch and the um cradle,
Yeah,
and brought up Shane Sparks' nickname for you. I almost said that is too cool, Cenzo.
Captain Smooth.
I cannot. There's like Big Ten Network put out all their.
What's Shane doing with these like matchups and stuff? Like he's.
I
like,
think Big Ten Network is making an
me.
effort to put out more and more wrestling content, and Shane's just 100% willing to do it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I love Shane because he's unwavering in his opinion. He respects yours, but he's unwavering in his, and he has so much conviction about every decision he makes. I love it.
Yeah, he does. But I thought some of those were funny.
This is a no bias pick for you. What's your top 3 schools this year? In order.
Penn State, Arizona State, Stanford. Those are my top 3.
Okay. No bias.
Not in order either, actually. We could take the order out. Those are my top 3. I think they're gonna no, I have no idea. I think Iowa's gonna be solid as they usually are. There's I don't know. I haven't looked at college wrestling a ton like since NCAAs.
Penn State, Iowa, Arizona State, the 1, 2, 3 ranked. I think it could very well shape out like that. I think it could get very interesting too. Definitely excited for it. I'm picking Penn State to win it again. I have no reason not to.
Right. They return a lot, and what they don't return, they have young guys coming in. They got Ness. Bartlett's going to be better at 41. Levi Haynes is going to be good. Facundo is going to be good. Yeah.
Penn State's so funny with like you have the Nick Lees retire, and then you have the young guys, and you have these new exciting studs that it's like sometimes it's harder to get into freshmen until you've seen them for a year or two. The Penn State freshmen coming in are so good. Like even
you kind of got to watch them like right away, right? Because like it's you don't know what you're gonna get unless like me, like I lost my first match. So like so did Carter actually too. Me and Carter both lost our first match.
So didn't Mark Hall?
Yep. He lost his first official match.
I'm trying to. There was somebody else. Who was it? Halls, whose red shirt was pulled at Iowa.
That's Mark.
That was Mark. Okay. Yeah. That was the one. He talked about that on the podcast too. That's a good story.
That was a pretty interesting tournament, or not tournament match. That was a fun event. I like wrestling at Carver. That shit was fun.
I am so excited for the college season as we kind of talk about this. Penn State has a duel. Lock Haven at Penn State is only in 17 days, November 11th. Arizona State, I have this open in one of my tabs. Arizona State, Rutgers at Journeyman Wrangle Mania. That title is news to me. I have not heard Journeyman Wrangle Mania, but I love it. That's November 12th. So
sounds exciting.
That's not far away. That's in like 2.5 weeks. Not next Saturday, the Saturday after. So like we're here. College wrestling's here. I'm excited for you not to have the bias because I know you're gonna hop in more this year, do more shows.
Yep.
Willie wants to do some shows too. It's just Willie responds 1 of every 10 texts. And then I did his show with him a couple weeks ago. He's like, dude, you need to hop on here every Monday with me. I love when you're on. And I'm like, Okay.
I'll just start offering him fake trades in fantasy football so that he'll be like, oh, like what? And I'm like, just kidding. Like, we want to do a podcast.
Sorry, just wanted you to actually respond. Now that I have you, I'll do a podcast tomorrow.
Now that I have your attention, and then he won't answer.
Yeah.
So.
Well, all right. That's the
NCAA.
That's the NCAA preview. We'll do some more shows and picks. We're not going to do an All-Star Classic show because we just did one. Right. So kind of 2 for 1 there. All right, guys, that's Coffee Talk. Cenzo, I'm assuming you're going to train. It's like 9:20 there.
I'm leaving to go train right now. Yeah.
All right. So. I would maybe change I'd get out of the football jersey.
Kenneth Walker had 160 yards.
He's
and
a
2
beast.
Touchdowns this weekend. So I might need a Rockets jersey at my list.
How many jerseys do you rotate through? Are you a big jersey guy?
No, not even a little bit. No, not at all. I got this because I thought it was funny.
Where did you get it? Like, were you just on your? Were you like on your phone and you just ordered it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just curious of like the moment you're like, you know what? I'm getting a Kenneth Walker jersey. This is hilarious.
When I drafted him in every league, and then Rashad Penny got hurt, and then he broke a big run, and I said, "Oh, get in the jersey right now. He's going to loan me my league," and he's been crushing.
I like that. That's confidence, and that's calling a shot.
Young boy got it.
All right, guys, go subscribe to Baschamania. We'll be back Thursday in another episode. See ya.
Later.
And the beat goes on.